Good morning kids. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing great. I am Khushbu Patel from Saraswati Group of Education and now we are going to start with our second lesson of science. In the last session, we have completed the classwork of our first chapter. Now, chapter number 2, components of food. We are going to start. But as you know that before I start the explanation of the chapter, you should know some vocabulary words or the hard words of the chapter. So first, in this session, we are going to see the hard word of this lesson. Right? Are you all ready? Yes? Let us start. Chapter number 2, Components of Food. Now kids, in this chapter, first we have to see the hard words of this chapter, right? So let's start with the vocabulary words or the hard words with its meaning of this chapter. What is our first word? Our first word is amino acids. How will you pronounce it? Amino acids, right? What is the meaning of it? See here. Proteins are nitrogen containing compounds made of several units called amino acid. That means, see kids, whatever the food we are taking, right, it may contain a protein, right? So what is protein? It is a unit, or you can say that it is a group of a unit which has nitrogen in it. See kids, in the atmosphere there are nitrogen gases, right? But we cannot take nitrogen directly, right? So we are taking that nitrogen in the form of a protein. So the protein which contain the nitrogen compound, the mixture of this nitrogen compounds are known as amino acid. About this amino acid, you will learn more in the higher grade. But right now, you just have to see its picture. See here. N जहाँ पे लिखा है, that means nitrogen, right? So this is what? It is amino acid. Clear? Now we are going to the next word. What is that? It is hemoglobin. How will you pronounce it? Hemoglobin. You may have heard this word many times in your real life, right? But understand the meaning of it. What is the meaning? A pigment that gives blood its characteristics. Now, as you all know that our blood is having which color? Yes, red color. So, who gives red color to our blood? It is called color pigment, right? And the pigment which gives our blood a color, that pigment is hemoglobin. Or you can say that because of hemoglobin, our blood is of red color. See the picture over here. This is the pigment, or you can say it is the hemoglobin, right? Understood? Shall we go to the next word? Let's go. What is our third word? It is bowel. How will you pronounce it? Bowel. Now kids, as you are growing, right, in science you will be having certain scientific words which you need to understand. So here bowel is also a one scientific word. What is the meaning of it? See, it is a name of movement which can be seen in the digestive system to digest the food. Now kids, tell me one thing. Whatever the food we are eating, right, it will digested in our body. Yes or no? Yes, but which system of our body digests the food? Yes, the name of that system is digestive system. And in this system, the one movement is going on, right, which allow the food to get digest, right. The name of that movement is bowel. See here in the picture, you can see it is the picture of a digestive system. It is continuously moving, right, but we cannot feel it. આપણા શરીરમાં જ્યારે આ બધું થતું હોય છે, we cannot feel it, but the digestive system is doing this type of a movement which is known as what? Bowel movement. And so only the food get digested. Clear? See the picture clearly, right, and keep this thing in your mind. Okay, fine. Now shall we go to the next word? Let's go. What is the next word? It is indispensable. How will you pronounce it? Indispensable. What is the meaning of it? Absolutely necessary. It is very much easy to understand the meaning of indispensable. That means we cannot live without it, right? If it is anything, if it is any cloth, if it is any book, જેના વગર આપણે રહી ન શકીએ, right? Like for example, if I say air, without air we cannot live, correct or not? Yes, so we can say that air is indispensable, right, which is very much necessary. But here in this chapter, indispensable word is used for water. As you can see here, right, that water is given in the picture. What does it indicate? It says that the food you are taking, right, it is necessary, but to digest that food, water is also necessary. It is also equally important. We cannot live without water, right? So water is considered as the important factor of our life, and so it is indispensable, which means water is very much necessary. Clear? Yes? Shall we go to the next word? Let's go. What is that? It is dehydration. How will you pronounce it? Dehydration. Now kids, this word you may have heard in many of the TV advertisement, right? What is the meaning of dehydration? See, a condition caused by the excessive loss of water from the body. What is the meaning of excessive first? See, excessive means very much, too much, right? Excessive એટલે ખૂબ જ વધારે. From our body, if the water loss is very much, right, maybe due to perspiration or maybe through vomiting or maybe through some disease, right, or maybe through urine, if the water is moving out from our body in a much amount, so we feel dehydrated, right? શરીરમાંથી પાણી ઓછું થઈ જવું, that means dehydrated. And this procedure of losing a water from the body is known as dehydration, right? See here in the picture, right? It's a very comic, funny picture, but it is showing that how water is moving out of the body. And kids, sometimes due to dehydration we may faint, એટલે આપણે બેભાન પણ થઈ શકીએ છીએ. So sufficient amount of water for our body is very much necessary, right? Okay, Do you understand? Fine. Now we are moving to the next word. What is that? It is balanced diet. Right? What is it? Balanced diet. What is the meaning of it? A diet contains all types of nutrients in correct proportion. Right? That means you eat healthy food as well as you can take the junk food also. But the condition is it should not be more. Right? તમને એમ થાય કે દીદીએ કીધું છે કે જંક ફૂડ ખાઓ એટલે તમે રોજ બહારનું ખાઓ. બટ નો, you have to take the balanced diet. That means proper vegetables, proper fruits, proper cereals, proper water, and then you can take some amount of junk food, right? So that your body will have all the type of necessary nutrients, right? And this nutrients will help your body and mind to grow well, right? See here the picture. It says that you should have the balanced diet, right? But most of us will not like any type of a balanced diet, right? We avoid eating much healthy food, but actually it is much needed for our body, right? So this was our word balanced diet. Clear? Shall we go to the next word? Let's go. What is that? It is deficiency disease, right? How will you pronounce it? Deficiency disease or disease. What is the meaning of it? A disease caused by the lack of an element in the diet, usually a particular vitamin or mineral. That means we know that many food item contains different type of vitamins and minerals. But if you are not taking that food at a regular interval, right? So some of the vitamins will be lack in your body. થોડાક વિટામિન તમારા બોડીમાં ઓછા હશે તો તેના કારણે શું થાય? You may suffer with certain disease, right? ઓછું હોવું મતલબ deficiency, right? કાંઈ પણ વિટામિન્સ અથવા મિનરલ્સ ઓછા હોય અને એના લીધે તમને ડિઝીઝ થાય, so that disease will considered as deficiency disease, right? Say for example carrots, right? If you eat carrots, you will be having a sufficient vitamin A, right? Vitamin A, which is good for our eyesight, right? But if you will not eat carrots, right? And if you see continuous TV or if you are playing games on mobile, so your eye may suffer with the disease. It may lose its visibility capacity, right? જોવાની ક્ષમતા ઓછી થઈ જાય તો શું થાય? તો કે ચશ્મા આવે, right? So that is what? That is due to the lack of vitamin A, right? So that is deficiency disease. You can see here in the picture. It's a comic picture, right? Just to inform you that disease, right? How do you feel when you are ill? Okay? So this was deficiency disease. Clear? Now we are moving to the next word. What is that? It is malnutrition. How will you pronounce it? Malnutrition. What is the meaning of it? See, lack of proper nutrition means if you take a good food, your body will grow properly. But if you are not taking good food or if you are not getting good food, your body will have lack of nutrition. Nutrition ocha hase. So if in our body the nutrition is less, then that condition is known as malnutrition. right? You can see here in the picture that there is a one boy who is big but actually very thin. That means the body of that boy does not have a proper nutrition. તો એને શું કહેવાય? malnutrition, right? We can say કુપોષણ in Gujarati and kuposhit in a Hindi, right? So this is malnutrition. Clear? Shall we go to the next word? Let's go. What is our next word? It is undernutritions. How will you pronounce it? Come on, say with me. Undernutritions. Right? The previous word was malnutritions, but this word is undernutritions. What is the meaning of it? See here. Inadequate intake of a food. That means you have a good food. You are getting proper food, but actually you are not eating that food, right? If your mother will give you a plate full of good nutritive food, right? Roti, chawal, dal, sabji, salad, buttermilk, right? And all that, but still you are not eating all that, right? I don't like sabji, I don't like salad, ऐसा करके आप आधा छोड़ देते हो. दैट मीन्स आपने आधा छोड़ दिया तो आपकी बॉडी को जितना न्यूट्रिशन चाहिए उससे कम मिलता है. सो वॉट इज दैट? इट इज अंडर न्यूट्रिशन. इनएडिक्वेट मतलब लेस अमाउंट, राइट? इनटेक मतलब लेવું. If you are taking a less amount of a food, your body will not get proper nutritions. So that is considered as undernutritions. Clear? See the picture of it, right? The boy is very much undernutritions, right? Okay, understood? Let's go to the next word. What is that? It is obesity. How will you pronounce it? Obesity. What is the meaning of it? A condition in which a person has too much body fat. Now what do you mean by fat? If I will ask you, you will say fat એટલે જાડું. But actually fat means ચરબી, right? So if the person has too much of fat in his or her body, right? So we say कि આ person જાડા છે. But what do we say it in scientific word or scientific language? We say it as obesity. See here in the picture. Obesity may have, right, due to bad habits or unhealthy lifestyle like eating too much of junk food, drinking too much of unhealthy drinks, eating too much of sweets, or just sitting at one place and resting at your home and playing games and eating all these things together, which may lead to the obesity, right? That means the fat will be there in your body. Okay, the fat will be stored in your body, which lead to the obesity. Clear? Right? So in short, right, to live the healthy life, you should have the nutritious food, right? Okay, so this was obesity. Moving further, the next word is pigment, right? If you remember in this slide only, right, we have seen hemoglobin, right? उसमें एक word था pigment. What is the meaning of a pigment? See here. Any colored substance in the tissues or cells of animals and plants. See kids, you see that all the plants which is having a flowers or fruit will have the different color. બધા flowers અને fruitsના અલગ અલગ color હોય છે. And even animals are having a different color from each other, right? We don't have a color like a frog. Frog does not have a color like a lion. That means all the plants and animal tissue have a different color. But what is responsible for it? That is colored pigment. And the name, કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ જે કલરવાળી છે એને શું કહેવાય? તો કે pigment. Right? First, see here. You can see that I have just attached one image having the 3 different leaves. Right? All the leaves are having different color. When it is attached to the plant, it is green, then it is red, and then it is brownish or orangish color. Right? So why it happens? It happens because of the colored pigment. About the pigment you will study in a 9th standard. Right? But right now you just have to remember pigment means colored substance. Right? અથવા તો જેના કારણે શરીરમાં કલર હોય છે, that is known as what? Pigment. Pigment can be seen in the plant as well as in the animals. You can see here there are 4 different animals, right, including one bird. They all are having a different color. That is just because of the pigment present in their body. And all the animals and birds and of course plants will have different colored pigment. It is not similar to each other. Clear? So this was the last word of this chapter. Right? Now kids, you will be having another words also. Right? But that we will study with the explanation of this chapter. So I hope you have understood till here. Okay? So kids, here we have completed the vocabulary words of this chapter. I hope you have understood it thoroughly. If you have any query regarding words, that how to pronounce it, what is the meaning of a particular word, please go through this video again. We are going to meet in the next session. Till that time, please stay at home, stay safe. Bye bye.